if you easily disturbed, don't watch any of the movies on this list. I don't want to receive no, lo, you made me have nightmares, you made me what. I don't want. If you are easily disturbed, do not watch these movies, please. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. My name is Lo, and today we are going to be talking about some of the weirdest movies that I have ever seen. If you can hear rain in the background, I'm so sorry, but it is rainy season now. I can't even film in my house during the day because it's always dark, so that's why I felt like filming a couple videos at my mom's house would be the best because it would be easy for me to tweak the lighting. So yeah, it's the best I can do. I'm an amateur, I don't know what I'm doing. Please someone volunteer their services. There will be some serious spoilers ahead of you in some of these. The ones that I really want you to watch, I won't. I'll try my best not to give too much away, but for some I will definitely just say we are diving headfirst into the spoilers. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. So the first movie on my list is Predestination 2014. I really like this movie. My friends did not like this movie. At least the friends that had seen it before me, they were like, that movie is garbage, it's whack, you know, like. But I loved it so much, and it got like 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it means that the general consensus is that it's a good movie. So the synopsis is basically, it's a time traveling policeman who goes back in time to try and stop a terrorist attack that kills like a lot of people. So yeah, that's like the basic synopsis for someone who wants to go in and like be surprised. It's basically, the theme of it is very much Ouroboros, is that how you say it? Or the snake that eats its own tail. So now we're getting into the spoiler part of this movie. It's basically about a time traveling policeman that goes back in time to stop a terrorist attack, and when this person goes back in time, they go back as a male to a time when they were female, and he falls in love with himself and then gets himself pregnant, and then, you know, they give birth to themselves. It's very, well, it's not that confusing. Maybe I make it sound confusing, but it's not that confusing. It's problematic. It's like the ultimate form of incest. Like, what point is it incest or masturbation? I don't know. There's probably thousands of videos on YouTube that can explain what it is if you have sex with yourself. But like, yeah, I really love that movie. I thought it was very fascinating. It was very interesting, and there's another twist on top of that twist that I said, but like, I found it to be very weird but very enjoyable. Really highly recommend it to people who like getting their brains twisted, who like weird nouveau, you know, I got a D in French, so I don't know how to speak French, who like, you know, just new interesting plots, you know. Love it. The next movie on my list is Dogtooth. Dogtooth is 2009. It is by, let me read the name of the director because I cannot, I don't speak Greek. I don't know if he's even Greek. His name is Yorgos Lanthimos. Yeah, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Dogtooth is basically controlling homeschooling parenting on steroids. First of all, this director, if you watch Yargos movie, when you watch his movies, just know that he is not going to tell you why certain things are happening. You just have to accept that they're happening and just take them as that's just how life is in this world. Even though it's like a world where very similar to where we live, Just take it that this is what's happening, this is the reality. He's not going to tell you why, he's not going to explain. You just have to watch it with an open mind. And yeah, so basically the dad and the mom tell their kids that they can only leave the house once their Dogtooth appears. And you and I know that us as human children, we don't get a Dogtooth. So basically the kids are supposed to stay there and never leave the yard for the rest of their lives, as far as I, the viewer, am concerned. I don't know, there's probably people who dissected this movie, but me, I just watch things to enjoy them. I'm not a film school student, so yeah. So the dad, he's so weird. He makes them do weird things, like, compete in certain little like tournament type of situations where they're competing against each other. They're only allowed to watch videos that the parents, I think, made or the parents picked out. Like, it's so weird. And the parents hide the fact that there's things like telephones, so they don't really know much about the outside world. Like, they've got a son who I think is the oldest, and two daughters, and it's hinted that they have another brother who left, but we don't really know too much about it. The dad says, oh god, just watch the movie. But the weird part is that for his teenage son, he hires a sex worker. I don't know if she comes every week or every month, but he hires a sex worker to come and have sex with his oldest kid, who is the boy, and I think he's a teenager, but like, it's so weird. And then there's one point where the sex worker can't come to the house, so he does something else, and you can imagine what it is. If you don't want to imagine it, just watch it. It's a foreign language film, so it's in a Greek. I think that's the language they're speaking. I've never heard someone speaking actual Greek, so I don't know. And I'm not going to Google. I'm so sorry. I love you so much, my viewers, but yeah. Yeah, but it's so good. It's so good. I think it's even that director's first like major movie. I'm not too sure if it's his directorial debut, but I love that movie so much. Highly recommend. And I think it got an 80 something on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, give it, let me see. Oh, it got 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, so highly recommend it for all the people who like pretentious movies. But it's like pretentious with soup, like it's so taboo, so you just want to know, it's like, imagine you have these weird neighbors that never leave the house. So imagine those are the weird neighbors, just getting to know what they're doing, everything you suspected, because that's what weird neighbors do. The next weird movie on my list is The Lobster, and it's 2015 by the same director. This movie, it was like split, because Rotten Tomatoes believes that it is a great movie. I think, let me see, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 87%, but I think the audience gave it 65%. But I think it was really good, because it was so, to me, I don't know if I don't get out much in the movie world, but to me it was something very interesting that I hadn't seen before. And of course, as usual, he's not explaining to you why things are happening the way they're happening. They're just happening because they're happening. So yeah, so basically, god, I say basically so much. Anyway, yeah, so there is a man who lives in a world where you have to find your soulmate in so many days after checking into some sort of, like, after you break up with someone, I'm not too sure, I can't remember, but after you break up with someone, you have to find your soulmate or your partner within a certain given time. I don't remember, within X amount of days. So this man, he checks into this facility where he's expected to meet his soulmate within a certain amount of days, otherwise he's going to be turned into a lobster. Yes, I said what I said. He's going to be turned into a lobster, and that's the animal he chose. So it's like you can choose whatever animal you want to be turned into in the event that you fail to find your soulmate. Oh my god. this movie leaves a lot to your imagination, and I think that makes it kind of worse in some points. There's a lot of, you can fill in the blanks of what happened in this disturbing part here for yourself. It's very weird, but so enjoyable. You know, something happens, we don't know if it turns into a lobster, I'm not going to tell you, but please watch it if you're just in the mood for something different, something absolutely absurd. You know, it's so funny too, like, please. It's actually quite funny, but like in a very dry humor way, because the characters are very serious, even though they're delivering some of the most ridiculous lines that you'll ever hear in your life. You know what I mean? And it just, yeah, it's so interesting to see. And I think Yargos is one of my favorite directors because he's got quite a number. I think I like every single movie he's made so far. Highly recommend The Lobster. Please give it a watch, you know? The next weird movie on my list is The Antichrist by a director whose name I'm not going to even try and pronounce.
Hey, editing Lou here. It's literally Lars von Trier. It's not that deep, Lou.
He's a problematic director, so much controversy, but he does make interesting movies. Like, I'm sure maybe some of you have seen Melancholia, Nymphomaniac. Yeah, he makes interesting think piece movies. So in 2009 he decided to make a movie called Antichrist, and it was not received very well. It was just, I didn't really like it. I watched it because, you know, I'm a horror fan, and at the time I was just like, I'm gonna watch this movie and it's gonna be great. I was with my cousin Francis and we're like, we're gonna watch this movie because we wanna watch some horror. And I was like, oh my god, it's this director, so it's probably going to be like the Antichrist, but like with a dramatic, weird, interesting twist. And it wasn't. It was interesting. Starts off with this couple and their toddler climbs off a balcony in slow motion. It's like so dramatic. Like, so the toddler is crawling in slow motion to the balcony, he's climbing up the thing, and the parents are hardcore having sex in the shower. And the director got porn stars as body doubles for the actors so that he could really like film this graphic, hardcore sexual intercourse. So the baby is crawling out to die while the parents are having the hardest core sex you'll see in any movie. You know what I'm saying? So the parents are riddled with grief. The baby has died. The mother is like, how can the baby die when I am having sex with my husband? And she just goes through this spiral of hating herself because she's like, it's because she has this hypersexual appetite, why her baby died, and it's just so dramatic. And till at the end she dramatically cuts off her, yeah, it's a movie. And because of the fact that people felt like he heavily implied that it was the mother's fault, or he was technically saying a woman can't have, you know, sexuality without problems. People are like, he hates women. And you know, when you watch the movie, you kind of see it, because like, she really took it hard. I'm not trying to, she really took it hard. She took it to a crazy extent. Like, I think him filming, I think he's just obsessed. After watching Nymphomaniac, he's very obsessed with women who are hypersexual, I think, because that was the theme with Antichrist, you know. So yeah, and you know, his response to whether or not he hated women was very much, I don't hate women, I have a wife. And then the wife is like, yes, I am his wife. And that was basically the end of that. Obviously I'm paraphrasing. Feel free, if you care, to go and see what he said. But yeah, Antichrist is not a good movie for me personally. I don't watch it thinking it's going to be a horror movie. It's more like a psychological thriller for me. and I don't know, it's just ridiculous. Sorry to say. Maybe I mean, I do have bad taste in movies from time to time, so maybe I just have bad taste. Got like 53% on Rotten Tomatoes, something like that. Yeah, if you're just interested to see something very disturbing, well, it's not that disturbing to me. I just found it ridiculous. But if to most people it would probably be disturbing. So if you feel like watching it, feel free to watch it and let me know what you think in the comments. The next movie on my list is Oldboy. Guys, there's the Korean version and the American version, and I don't care what anyone says, I enjoyed both so much. Obviously, I kind of like the Korean one a bit more. I love both versions. They both have similar, very similar plots, almost word for word, but the endings are different, you know. I feel like the Americans couldn't use the original ending because, yeah, because reasons. This is one of the movies that I really want you to watch, so yeah, please watch it. And it's basically a man is thrown into some sort of a weird prison. It's literally a room. He's trapped in this room. It's literally like the room I'm in right now. It looks like a motel room, and he's just stuck there for years, for like maybe 20 years or something. And this movie is literally a love letter to petty people. Me, as a petty person, I did enjoy watching this movie. I loved it so sincerely. Both of them, I just couldn't believe the masterfulness. It was so fantastic. So please watch this movie. The man in the prison eventually is released, and a series of extremely violent events lead him to do something that is very fucked up. So yeah, please watch both. Both are very good, and the American one is really star-studded. I mean, you won't regret, you will enjoy. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. I love those movies. Well, most of them. I don't like Antichrist, but the rest of them I really liked. I love watching movies that make me feel some type of way. I just like being surprised. You know, there's not much in life that shocks me, and from time to time when I find a movie that makes me feel really weird, really strange, I love to just settle into that feeling because it's a special feeling to have sometimes. For me, maybe I'm just weird, but like, yeah, that's the theme of the video. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you like, to give it a like. And I just realized for the last god knows how many videos I've been pointing at the wrong side for the bell. So yeah, I don't know anymore. Where is the bell? I think it's down there. I'm not too sure, I can't remember. Click the bell notification, and yeah, subscribe. Come back, see you in the next video. Bye.